Well, it's that time of year when you can find berry grower Bob Teal tying up long, thorny canes at his orchard near Cambridge. Bob's resourcefulness has allowed him to keep growing a niche range of berries, pretty much single-handedly, into his 80s. I called into Bruntwood Orchard to see how he does it.
This is one of my converted picking trolleys from a pram. So all the...
Yes, we're looking at a pram, or pushchair, whatever you want to call it. But the only sweet things going in this old pram are the juicy, fruity sort.
So all the seating and so on came off, and I incorporated this rectangular piece of half round, whatever it is. So my red trays can fit in there, and I can put 20 punnets. So we pick directly into the punnet, ready for the market.
Do you pick these up from the dump, or where do you get them from?
Trade me. Anything that's less than $50, I pick it up.
How many of them have you got?
Oh, I've got about a dozen of these.
Oh, they're very convenient, and they actually do the job, don't they?
Yeah, they come with wheels supplied. It even comes with a brake at the back there, so if you're on a slope, you can even stop your trolley running away from you.
Have you always been a bit of a fix-it guy or
probably,
inventor?
Yeah. The workshop isn't very tidy, but you can see that I've got most of the stuff that I need.
The workshop at Bruntwood Orchard is the hub for Bob Teal's one-man horticulture operation. On 1.5 hectares, supplying early-season berries to local supermarkets. And what are the other inventions you've come up with, Bob?
Well, this is my golf cart. It's actually a golf cart, but it's a single-seater golf cart. So when I saw one of these on the golf course, I thought, jeepers, that's just what I need for going down my tunnel houses with spray behind me.
Because it's quite narrow.
It's narrow enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just unplugged the battery because I was charging it up from yesterday's game of golf, and I'll bring it outside for you, and I'll show you how I've connected. Going forward now. 100 litre sprayer.
So that's being hooked up onto the back?
So that's hooked onto the back there like that. There's a hole there somewhere. Like that. That gets connected to the battery. Mm-hmm. And the battery gets connected to the sprayer, and that's the connection to the little switch on there. This is just an old car battery that powers the...
Where'd you pick that up from?
Oh, it was probably lying around here actually.
You still use it on the golf course?
I use it on the golf course. Well, I've got a truck that can carry it. I don't have to have a special trailer for it. Hence these two here that hold the
Got some
hold
bungees
the bag.
there.
Yeah.
It seems to me like you are a bit of a DIY expert, Bob.
Well, I made these tunnel houses too. These aren't commercial tunnel houses. Yeah. This is a design that came in over about 25 years of making improvements to what we've got now.
Because you have been in the business a long time.
40 years, 45 years.
We'll find out about those self-designed tunnel houses in a moment, but first, a bit more about Bob.
I've been here since 1980. I had almost 20 years dairy farming first, which enabled me to, when I sold my dairy farm, to be able to buy 80 acres in the Cambridge area, which was better suited to horticulture than the piece of land I owned over at Morrinsville.
Did you always want to get into horticulture?
Well, I always wanted to get on the land, and my parents had very green fingers. They were not commercial producers of fruit or veggies, but they showed orchids and they showed gerberas, and they clipped their plants and sold the foliage to turners and growers in those days. And pretty green fingers. He also won a competition, which was the Handyman's Garden, 1949. I can just remember all the people walking in and having a look at Dad's garden. He went in for it once, won it.
Handyman, so you've taken after him.
But he had a great eye for beauty and great eye for colour and of timing. Everything had to be timed for the competition. So, yeah, pretty good planner probably.
You're a bit of a chip off the old block then?
It could be. Mum had green fingers too, though.
In the early years, after leaving dairying, Bob grew maize, asparagus and some berries, autumn raspberries, blueberries and strawberries, and then moved to specialise in the more niche varieties he grows now. We're standing by your tunnel houses where the berries are grown. Could you just tell us a little bit about what you grow inside them?
Well, I grow 3 varieties of fruit. Raspberries are not tunnel housed. There's only 3 short rows of those, but I have 3 varieties of early blackberry, and there are 4 varieties because one of them doesn't look like a blackberry, but it's labelled a blackberry because it's a derivative of blackberry families. So basically blackberries, but one of them looks like a boysenberry. It's a burgundy colour, and it's called ranui. Not too many people know about it, but if you see a funny coloured blackberry, try it out, it's worth it.
As for the tunnel houses, designed by Bob, well, they're 100 metres long and narrow. Plastic pipes used in plumbing hold up the polythene cover. 4x2s hold up the whole structure, and there's no need for irrigation.
The beauty of mine is that all the rain that falls, because they're only individuals over one row, the rain falls within a metre of their roots. So all the rain that they would normally get if it fell on their plant, on the plant itself, still is reachable by the roots of the plant because they go out much further than a metre.
So it's really just the warmth that you're creating there?
Yeah. There's no shortage of moisture because there's a tunnel over them. It can take a really sort of strong wind. There's given the supports. Yeah.
So years and years of trial and error and experience.
Oh, yes. But initially it was just wooden frames to see if we could make a difference to the reliability of getting fruit in without having to worry about weather. And this is the beauty of having enough tunnel-housed fruit, is that you can pick outdoor fruit if you know it's going to be fine. If you know it's going to be wet the next day, then you pick the outdoor fruit so that you've got the indoor fruit for the wet day. And you can have a continuous supply of fruit because all the supermarkets love to have a continuous supply of fruit. Unreliability is, not what they want.
The end of May is time for tying up the long, thorny canes from the berry plants to support the next season's growth. So we're just wandering down through the tunnel house and the canes are spreading over the ground. And what, do you want to get them up high?
Yeah, so we look for a long one, just watch out for that one. And we pull it out, free it up from anything that might be inhibiting it. Go through the wires. It's just like weaving a mat, really. We put some of that up there like that, twist it around the top, and so I've done about 4 twists around the top wire with that one, and that's perfectly long enough. And the next one we find will just rock up beside that one, and if it's long enough, same procedure, underneath the middle wire up to the top. This one's a little bit on the short side, but if you've got a bit of skill, you can tie it in and lock it in underneath the other one. I'll find a longer one.
How many canes would you like to have from each plant?
It depends on the crop. It depends on the variety, really. That one needs a bit strongest and longest. And we'll get about 20 canes, 10 on this side and 10 on the other side. And we'll work our way along like that. But you have to have leather gloves. These are thorny. But the idea is to take the thorn away from the picker so that each of those buds beside that leaf is going to produce about 5 or 6 berry fruit.
Do you need to do anything else to the canes?
Only control of disease, which is where my little sprayer comes in handy.
Just enough room here to trundle down in between the rows.
Yeah.
And have you had many injuries over the years from handling these canes?
Oh, no. Yeah, get a thorn or two, that's all. It's because I go and do something without my gloves on. Yeah.
You go through a few pairs of gloves,
I go through a few pairs, yeah. In fact, some are these have been patched. If you find the right glue, you can actually cut them up and put a patch on.
They're very heavy-duty gloves.
They're, welding gloves.
Welding gloves?
They're welding gloves.
So one of the hazards of the berry industry for you is the thorns, but you're managing with your...
They've produced a great variety of fruit. It's one disadvantage is all the early ones basically have got thorns, as far as the blackberries are concerned. There are thornless blackberries, but their main crop, which is coming in February, So a lot of the growers prefer to handle those. But, mine are finished by then.
I can hear lots of birds. How do you keep the birds away here?
I have a slug gun.
And
They only have to see me now and they run, they fly.
So they can still get in?
That's the pukekos I'm talking about. But little birds, blackbirds, I net them over. I have netting that I drop once we've tied up. The netting drops. My biggest pest is the rabbit that chews through the netting and allows the birds in.
Bob only takes on a couple of people to help him pick and tie up canes ready for the next season. He says the skills he's acquired over many years aren't taught these days.
I think most growers, if you were going to go into it, you'd just go and find someone like me and get someone to, get them to show you what to do. Because there's no industry that teaches small crop berry fruit growing really. Crop and food are great when it comes to developing and working in with other countries on new developments and so on. There's been a new raspberry that's come onto the market in the last few years, but when it comes to actually the hands-on how to do it, you really just have to go to another grower to find out how to do it. It's slightly different than strawberries, of course, and blueberries, because there's quite an industry behind those too.
This is more of a niche industry?
This is more of a niche industry, yeah.
Is there not the demand for these berries, or...?
Probably not. Certainly not in comparison with strawberries and blueberries. Blueberries have it over soft fruit in that they keep for so long. You can put them in the fridge for 2 or 3 weeks. You can send them around the world and bring them back again and they're still fine. You couldn't get to England with mine. There'd be too much shaking. There'd be too much juice in the bottom. And a lot of supermarkets are reluctant to take them because their shelf life is not so great. Yeah.
So who is your market?
Supermarkets. Yeah.
Local?
Yeah, local. It's all local.
Are there many people who want to get into this sort of berry fruit?
Can't imagine. Actually, just the thorns on the fruit that I grow put people off.
Do they?
Yeah. It's hard to imagine that you can actually manage crops that have got such thorny plants, because one of the varieties at the far end of this block came onto the market and it was well received as far as the fruit was concerned, but more than one grower said, "Oh no, I'm not going to handle that." And I suspect that it's because they don't know how to properly hang them.
How long do you think you'll keep on running the berry hang?
For as long as I don't mind getting up in the morning. If it becomes a struggle, I might give it away. But it's a pretty good lifestyle. My son lives in that house there. He gives me a meal now and again.
Did you think you'd still be doing this at
80? No, I didn't think I'd be doing it at 80, but then Mum lived to 101, so if I've got her genes.
Bob Teal of Bruntwood Orchard near Cambridge. In April, Bob received accolades for his thriving small-scale horticulture business, winning awards for agribusiness management and innovation with the New Zealand Farm Environment Trust. His orchard's described as a valuable example for aspiring growers, and he impressed judges with his adaptability, efficiency and strategies maximising value over volume.